Hello everybody, it's Bolts Racing here, and this is just a video of me describing how I make my stop motion races, tracks, and everything else that I do for the NASCAR Legends series. If you want to look at specific parts, there are going to be timestamps down in the description on where I talk about certain things, because I know some people just wanted a video about banking, so I'll link the start time of the banking in there, and the start time of the editing, and start time of the filming, and everything like that. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I hope it helps you out with whatever projects you might be doing in the future. So one of the first things that you need to make a stop motion race is a racetrack. And that's very important because otherwise you don't have anywhere to race. So I generally like to make my tracks out of cardboard. So you see here, this is just a large cardboard box that I bought at Walmart or Target. I can't remember at this point. I buy them from both locations. And then another good one is to buy stuff like trifold boards, which I have for tracks like Martin Subway, Aflac, Elmer's, Pearl City, stuff like that. I also have trifold boards, and they come in all different shapes and sizes, so they're really good for different tracks of variation. And then every once in a while I'll also branch out and do stuff like cake tray. It's just literally a cake tray. But yeah, for the bigger ones, which I'm going to be focusing on Panera because it's the track with the banking here, it's just for the bigger tracks you generally want a piece of just a box, just an unfolded box. You can buy them at Walmart or Target for really cheap, like a few dollars at most. So and how I make my tracks is the first thing I do is I'll take a pencil and I'll outline it, generally using a ruler. Where did I put my ruler? Ah, there it is. Yeah, so you just take a pencil, you take a ruler, and you trace out your track. Try to get straight lines. You don't have to use a ruler. You can freehand some stuff. Like I know a lot of road courses that I do, I freehand. And then you just straighten them up as you go along. And then after you're all done tracing out your track, you can get to coloring them. How I color them is just Sharpies. I've got a whole bunch of Sharpies in here, a lot of green, a lot of black. Black's generally for paving the race track, which I don't always do. Some of my tracks are paved, like you see Martin over there, but some of them are not. I don't know if I'm going to pave this one immediately. Sometimes it's fun not to pave them at first so I can repave them in the future, change the racing lines and stuff. But I will use a lot of green Sharpie, like right here. I need to finish using green Sharpie for the infield. Lots of infield on this track. It honestly does take some time, but it's all worth it in the end. It makes it look a lot better. Now let's get on to the banking. So how I make my banking isn't too difficult. So what I did is I went to Panera and I got these coffee holders. And what coffee holders are is they're a little bit curved. You can get them at places like Panera, Starbucks. Those are the only two places I've been to that I know have them. But what they do is because they're slightly curved, you can tape them together to create a curved part of the racetrack. And you can also obviously do this with small pieces of cardboard, but the best part about them being small pieces is that they bend a little bit. And because they bend, they can create a smooth downward facing banking rather than like being a big arc up into the air like I usually do. But anyways, the bend allows them to curve in a bank. And then what I did for the entrance ramp is a straight line on the bottom so the cars could climb up and they always hit the bottom, and then just a curved line to finish out the banking at the top of it. Now, I'm holding it up with Jenga blocks right now. What I want to do in the future is maybe replace the Jenga blocks with just a permanent thing of cardboard there, and then a platform under it so the banking will sit smoother, and that'll definitely help stick the cars onto the banking, which I'll probably just end up putting a little piece of tape under them or something like that to get them to stick on the banking. It shouldn't be too horribly difficult once I just figure out all the little details. I'll probably make an updated version of just the banking once I've done that. Now, I've done one other type of banking before, and this was for my Season 3 entry race. And this is banking built into the track, as let's see a good picture of it here. As you see right here, as Kyle Larson's going around it, what I did is I took a big long straight strip of cardboard and I cut triangles into it so it fits on the curved banking. There, it fits curved, and then I just taped it to the track. And this is a little bit different because it fits into the wall as it curves up. You can see it. Let's see. You can see it curve up along here and just merge with the wall there.
that was intended for the original type of track I was making this for. This just became a stop motion over time. But as you see, like the little triangle slit pieces, you push them together and it creates a curve. So you can use that for banking also. The tricky part of that is just having it come down, but you can use the same like kind of triangle partial method just to have it cut down into the track there. So that's just another form of banking I've used in the past. I think the one I have now works a little bit better, but this one can also work pretty well.
I'd say walls would be an important part of a racetrack because it keeps the cars from flying off. But some people don't need walls. Some stop motions are just good without walls because it creates a sense of challenge for the cars or just looks better with the track and just to have like invisible barriers or whatever. What I use for walls is I don't remember what game it was that I got these from. It was some sort of board game, like country travel across the USA, some sort of board game. But anyways, I've got these really long Jenga blocks style things that I use. Because for my walls, I just use Jenga blocks, but I have 3 different colors because of the set I bought. I have just the traditional wooden ones. I have some black ones. It was from like a Truth or Dare set, and then red ones, so I can create racing stripes. But for the longer straightaways, I'll generally just use these because they're much easier to use, and then I'll put the red ones against them, and then maybe in the turns on this track, I can do a different color. But yeah, for the walls, I just use Jenga blocks, which are pretty easy to have. You can also use little strips of cardboard. You can use books. You can use the ends of binders. You can. Here, I'll take one of my crowd audience binders. You can just take the end of a binder you might have used in school and put it up against the wall. That actually looks pretty good. Huh, that looks a lot better than I first thought it was. I actually might do something like, I don't know. But yeah, I personally just use Jenga blocks for my walls. So the last thing that I can really think of right now to really just spice up a racetrack is to add some details, like a grandstand, like an infield garage, which I have sometimes. The one from Season 2, Race 10, Monster Energy Motor Speedway is all broken up inside there. But just something to give the track a little bit of extra light to it. So what I did is I did grandstands using binders. They're just normal binders with dotted paper on top. These are all little dots made by markers. And then I slide the paper into the binder, and it looks like people cheering out from grandstands. Now, the other thing that I do that I actually don't see a lot of stop motions do, I see some of them, but not a lot, is I'll use flag stands. This is a little checkered flag. It's a little Lego checkered flag. I'll put it down at the start-finish line, and then it adds a little bit more character to the race because there's actually a flag there. It also lets the audience know what's going on. If you don't have like a ticker or something, it's good to like know when you're on the white flag lap, or when it's restarting, I use a green. I just color this white thing green with a non-permanent marker so it doesn't stain. And I can continue using this. I'll color green, yellow, red, whatever is needed, black. And then I have this for the checkered flag when they're coming to the checkers. And then I'll put that on top of the car sometimes at the end when like some cars do burnouts and they hold the checker flag out of their window. I'll try to do something like that. And then also having something like a little trophy to put on the car at the end can make a big difference, just to really give the driver a sense of reward and your fans a sense that this driver really did win the race. So that's all for track. Now it's time to get down to actually how I filmed the stop motions. So on my iPad here, I have this app called iMotion, which is really useful. So what you do is you go to New Movie. I always do it manual. You can name it whatever you want. I always go manual just because I like touching the screen to take pictures. I don't want it timed because that puts a lot of pressure on me to get every shot done. So then you hit start, and you have your picture there. You can go on display. You can open up a whole bunch of these little green dots to really help you concentrate, like help you keep the scene the same. And then what you can also do is you can turn on and off this. I don't have any pictures yet, so I'll turn it on. And what it does is I'll take a picture, and then I'll move the car a little bit. And what it does is it has the old picture still there, just lightly coated. You can see it's kind of like a ghost car, and that really shows you how far you move it, so you can adjust based off of that. You hit the picture again, it refocuses, and you just continue to do that. This simple process for a while, and this is pretty easy. It's a free app on the App Store, so now I can hit stop. I hit it again at the beginning of a project. And this is very short. It's only 5 pictures.
you adjust the frames per second. Right now this is at 9 frames per second to however long you want it to be. You can go all the way forward, all the way back, adjust by each frame, so you can start taking pictures in the middle of it. And then, let's say, because this one isn't as long, I want it to be a little bit slower frames per second maybe, but that doesn't look smooth. So maybe I want it higher, and it's just rapid Jimmy Johnson fire. But it's a very useful app to use. It can help you make great stop motions. This little app has helped me a lot. I have it on my phone too, so I can do stuff like on top of the on top of the car shots, just roof cam shots, like right there. I take a picture, and it worked the same way. And then you can export it when you're done, just to your photo library, and that's rapid fire Jimmy Johnson again. And that's where you can start editing the stop motion. So I just use iMovie to edit my clips. It's not a super strenuous system. It just comes free with Macs and then iPads and stuff. You can do it on your iPad. I did season 1 on my iPad and some of season 2 on my iPad. I prefer doing it on the Mac though. It's just a smoother editing system, a few more options. So let's go down here. You see I've got my intro clip here, and then it cuts to the, oh yeah, this is spoilers if you haven't seen season 2. Season 3 race 2 yet, by the way. So I've got my music here under the video, just kind of fly by the track. Then I've got my commentary over this. I have a microphone on the other side of my room. I'm not using it right now, but I use my microphone when I'm voicing these races over. I'll start my voiceover at a certain spot in the music. I'm not going to listen to it right now, just so I don't have to worry about finding extra files to put in the description. So I have all my flyovers, then I'll have a little transition. You can do whatever transition you want. There are lots of them to choose from. Or this is just how I do it anyways. And then I'll go up just to introduce or give more details on the drivers. Then another transition here. As I'll have the roll off, which is usually the very first thing I do when I'm filming the stop motion. I'll do the roll off. I'll cut it so that you don't see any of the actual racing yet. Starting lineup here. Then I will have the race facts here, which is just about a picture that I stretch out for 12 seconds with some text over it. By the way, all the titles are here. Whatever titles, I don't remember the ones I used for them. They're one of these. A lot of them are useful. Then I'll have the race facts title, which is scrolling credits. And then after that, I will start the stop motion. This is the start of the stop motion that I had when it's actually under green. So I'll do that. And then I'll add this ticker, and how you do that is just another photo that you have. I just created this on like Google Pictures or whatever, like the picture thing on your drive. So you have this, it's another picture, you import it, you put it on top of the thing you want it to be in, so the smaller picture will go on top. When it's on top, you click it, this little thing appears up on the top. I just go to picture in picture. There's also cutaway, green, blue screen, split screen, stuff like that. I just do picture in picture, then I line it up where I want it. As you see, I've got all of them lined up here. And I'll keep going. I've got the race sounds audio. And then I've just got more stop motion, more tickers. I need a new ticker for each lap, just how I'm doing it right now. Then let's finally get to the first crash scene for how I do my crash. It's just a different style of ticker here for the stage. Then I'll have a crash sound effect that's not in this project because it keeps messing up for whatever reason, so I just exported this and put crash music over the final project. So I have a little bit of smoke that I use. It's just animal fluff. Lots of people use that trick. Then I'll have a picture of the pile up, a little transition here. And then I'll generally take the old clip when I like slice it, because you can split the clips just by clicking on it. So what you do here, or what I did anyways, is I'll take that clip out and I'll slow it down for a slow motion replay. Sometimes I'll also do a live action clip. Then I'll take another picture, a few more pictures just to reset everything, and then I'll get on with the next part of my stop motion. And it's just a lot of that for a good while. Sometimes there are more replay clips for the bigger events, and then the end of the race I'll do like a recap of the final restart there and how the driver got in the lead. Here I just have the little fight between Kyle and Keselowski. And then I have point system, which I also made in just Google Pictures. As the music comes back in at the end of the race, see Mark Martin with the trophy there. Sorry if you didn't go watch the other one. Mark Martin wins this one. Then I'll have upcoming facts about the next race, and then I'll just do an overview of me filming the race, when the next one's going to come out, my future schedules, and stuff like that. So that's how I end up filming my races. Again, it's really just a iMovie. It's useful if you know how to use it, but you just gotta know how to use iMovie, and that is not too bad. And that's just about all that I can think of right now. Thank you everybody for watching. Hopefully this helps you out in some way or another. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. If there's something that I missed that you want me to talk about, also leave it in the comments below. I'll try to answer your questions as best as possible. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say for this video. I'm gonna start getting to work on race 3 now, the Dale Earnhardt Senior Special, which is gonna be a partial dirt course. Just anyone who watched this video up to this point, now you know part of what it's gonna be. So thank you everybody so much for watching, and I hope you all have a good night.